Hi, this is Jonathan. How you guys doing? In today's video, we're going to discuss the subject, are cheaper guitars the way to go? Just in case you're wondering what happened to my Star Wars silver cup, you won't imagine what happened. On the first day of recording vocals in this place for a project that we just finished, on the first day of recording vocals, I spilled my coffee on top of my laptop and all over my table. You can imagine the panic it caused. I had to like scramble cloths and whatever I can get my hands to dry off the place just in case any of the coffee sip into the power supply which is down below, in which case it will be pure disaster. But thank God nothing happened. In any case, the only thing that come off the worst of it is that now my keys are a little bit sticky, but you know, my laptop works. You know, that's one thing about the iMac, the MacBook, you know, they are really well made. So none of the coffee seeped into it, even though this whole keyboard was swimming with coffee. The only thing was like, you know, as I said, the keys were a bit sticky, but other than that, everything is fine. In any case, you all know that I've been a fan of more affordable guitars. I don't believe in guitars that cost a whole lot. You know, so I've been a fan of the Harley Bentons. And recently I procured like I procured 2 G&L guitars, right? Which got me thinking, because I had a couple of questions posted to me. Should I get this Harley Benton, or should I get this other Kaiser guitars? You know, should I get a Fender Squire? Should I get this? So into this video, I was thinking like, you know, how do you address this whole issue of getting an affordable guitar, and what's the mindset behind it? This, as you all might know, is my TE-70 Black Paisley. This is one of my first purchases from Tele. Now to date, I have changed the tuners to lock-in tuners, the string tree to a roller string trees, my nut to the plastic nut that came in with a test nut round. I changed the pickups to Seymour Duncans. Did some modifications to my electronics and of course my knobs. And this guitar right now costs a whole lot more than it originally cost. This is because I wanted to do an experiment. I just want to see how I could transform a affordable guitar or a cheap guitar to a guitar that's worthy of playing in a gig or a recording. And I succeeded in this case because this guitar, it plays so well. That's the reason why I started this whole thing. It played so well, and I like the feel of the neck. And now with all the modifications that I did, this is a real good guitar for our sessions and for concerts, for shows and for gigs. This, on the other hand, is my G&L Tribute ASAT Bluesboy semi-solid. Now I've done no modifications to this guitar at all, except for the fact that I changed the string tree to a TUSQ string tree, and that's the only modification I did. Nothing has been done to this guitar. This guitar came in at about $800 Singapore dollars. So now, if I were to compare this guitar with my black Paisley, which after all the modifications that I've done to it, costs almost the same as this guitar, or maybe a little bit more, it makes me think about whether should I get a cheaper guitar with all its stock components, which might not measure up to my expectations, or should I just go for a more expensive guitar, in this case a slightly more expensive guitar, a reasonable range. I'm not talking about $1,000 over dollars or $2,000 over or $3,000 over dollars guitar, $800 guitar. Should I get a better guitar in terms of the hardware, the pickups and everything? Should I go for that instead of a cheap guitar? Now that of course is a something to think about for a lot of people out there because of your budget constraints. If you're a beginner, by all means, look at all the range of the cheaper guitars that are available online. And like I said before in my previous videos, nothing beats the experience of trying on a guitar in the shop, because then you know how it feels and whether is it comfortable in your hands, because your hands might not be the same as mine, and we're all born differently. And what may be comfortable for your friend might not be comfortable for you. So if you're going to the shop, try the guitars, and if you like it, then you might consider buying it online if it's cheaper. But my thing is that if your budget is reasonably there, like about $1,000, then I would advise you to get a more or a better guitar. Look at the specs, and if you don't know, ask people. Well, I'm here, so you can always ask me, and some of the people in this channel, they are so helpful. Just post the questions and people will answer it. In any case, what my advice is to not think about getting a real cheap guitar just because it's cheap. In my case, I got a cheap guitar or affordable guitar because I wanted to modify it. And by modifying, you must remember that you are paying money to modify it. So the components, the pickups, whatever you're planning to put on that guitar is going to cost money. So have that in mind before you jump the gun and buy a cheap guitar and thinking that you can get by with it, and if not, you can always modify it. Whereas you can always get a good guitar, and it doesn't have to be a G&L. It could be a Fender. Even if your budget is like $1,000 over dollars, I'd rather you have a selection of better guitars which cost a little bit more than to get a cheap guitar which you have to modify later on. So this is some of the advice that I give to the younger players. Now, for the old cats like me, we could do all what we want because we've gone through a whole lot of guitars. And again, the same principle applies, because if I were to have only one guitar in my arsenal, and for example, like next day my wife says, throw all your guitars. I don't want my guitar. I don't want all your guitars in my house, and there's only one guitar that I can buy. I would buy a real good guitar, not $20 over $1,000 guitar. I will buy like a real good guitar that I can play. That I wouldn't want to buy a cheap guitar or a affordable guitar, thinking that I would modify it down the road. So there's something to think about. Now, on the flip side of the coin, There's also the players that are really budget constrained. You know, they have really budget constraint, and you just want to buy a guitar that will get by, and where you just want to start practicing and see whether are you proficient or whether this is for you. You know, electric guitar. In this case, buy a cheap guitar. You know, buy $100 guitar or $200 guitar, and see whether it plays well. And if you liked it, if you feel like you had the knack for it. Then, if you still have budget constraint, then just modify a guitar instead of paying for a better guitar. Because if you like that guitar, modify it. But if you feel that you are of a standard where you want to have a bigger or a better guitar, then save all your money and get a better guitar. All right? So I hope this answers some of the questions that was been posted to me. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, give me a thumbs up. Please join this channel if you want to, and press the bell if you want to be notified of any future videos that comes out. So in the meantime, till the next video, you guys take care. Bye.